The 1960s wasn't just a decade. It was a cultural revolution, a bold, vibrant era that shook up everything from music and politics to art and, most memorably, fashion. Even today, nearly 6 decades later, the spirit of the 60s continues to inspire designers and style lovers worldwide. Why? Because the 60s were about freedom, freedom of expression, freedom to break rules, and freedom to reinvent yourself. From the mini skirts that challenged traditional femininity to the psychedelic prints that mirrored the psychedelic music and art of the time, the 60s gave us some of the most iconic fashion moments ever. But wearing 60s fashion in 2025 isn't about playing dress-up or mimicking vintage photos. It's about channeling that same rebellious energy in a way that feels fresh, modern, and most importantly, you. In this video, we'll dive into how to recreate those unforgettable 60s looks with a contemporary twist. We'll explore key silhouettes, colors, prints, accessories, and even hair and makeup, all while showing you how to blend vintage charm with today's styles. Whether you're a vintage purist or someone who loves a little retro flair mixed with modern basics, this guide will help you capture the best of both worlds. So get ready to step back in time with a confident, modern spin and discover how to wear the 60s like it was made for 2025. The spirit of 60s, fashion, bold, playful, and rebellious. The 1960s fashion scene was all about breaking free from the rigid norms of the previous decades to creating something playful, bold, and full of life. It wasn't just clothes, it was a statement of rebellion, youth, and creativity. Think mini skirts paired with knee-high boots, psychedelic prints swirling in bright colors, and accessories that screamed individuality. The era gave birth to a new generation who weren't afraid to experiment and challenge societal expectations. Today, capturing that same spirit means embracing risk and fun in your wardrobe. You don't need a head-to-toe vintage look to feel the vibe it could be. A statement accessory, a pop of bright color, or a playful pattern that nods to the decade. When styling 60s-inspired looks in 2025, balance is key. Let bold pieces shine but keep the rest modern and wearable. The idea is to feel confident and empowered, channeling the era's fearless attitude without looking like you're in costume. For example, pair a modern tailored blazer with a 60s-inspired miniskirt, or add a pair of retro-inspired sunglasses to a simple monochrome outfit. It's about subtle rebellion and personal flair. The 60s spirit is timeless because it invites you to make fashion your playground to experiment, mix eras, and most importantly, have fun. Key silhouettes of the 60s. A-line dresses and shift dresses. When you think of 60s fashion, 2 shapes immediately come to mind: the A-line dress and the shift dress. Both embraced simplicity and modernity, moving away from the constricting hourglass silhouettes that dominated earlier decades. The A-line dress flares gently from the waist, creating a flattering triangular shape that's playful yet elegant. The shift dress, on the other hand, hangs straight from the shoulders, offering a sleek and minimalist look that's surprisingly versatile. These silhouettes remain some of the most wearable shapes today. Their clean lines flatter almost every body type and allow for easy layering and accessorizing. In 2025, you can update these classics by opting for modern fabrics like breathable cotton blends, eco-friendly materials, or luxurious silks rather than the synthetic textiles that 60s dresses often featured. Tailoring has also evolved. Contemporary versions often include subtle darts or seams for a more refined fit. Styling these dresses with modern footwear, think sleek ankle boots, classic loafers, or even minimalist sneakers, keeps the look fresh. Layer a shift dress with a modern cropped jacket, or pair an A-line dress with a statement belt to accentuate your waist while adding a trendy twist. Accessories like geometric earrings or a structured handbag can complement the clean silhouette without overpowering it. These silhouettes prove that 60s fashion wasn't just about spectacle, it was about design, simplicity, and elegance, which fits perfectly into today's minimalist aesthetic. Colors and patterns. From psychedelic to pastels, the 60s were a playground of colors and patterns: vibrant neons, eye-popping psychedelic swirls, bold geometric shapes, and soft pastels. This decade wasn't shy about making a statement, and color was the easiest way to do it. Psychedelic patterns, inspired by the music and art scene, brought a sense of movement and energy to fabrics, while pastels offered a sweet, understated contrast that softened the boldness. In 2025, wearing these colors and patterns means being thoughtful about scale and balance. A small pop of neon or a subtle pastel accessory can elevate a neutral outfit without feeling overwhelming. Alternatively, choose one statement piece like a bold patterned blouse or skirt, and let it shine by pairing it with solid, muted colors. Mixing too many patterns or clashing brights can tip the look into costume territory. Modern designers have cleverly revived these prints with updated palettes and more wearable scales. For instance, smaller geometric prints or toned-down psychedelic swirls work beautifully in blouses, scarves, or even shoes. Soft pastel tones like lavender, mint, and peach are everywhere in 2025, making them an easy way to nod to the 60s while staying on trend. Try pairing a pastel knit with high-waisted jeans or a psychedelic printed scarf with a simple blazer. The key is subtlety, letting the pattern or color add personality without overpowering your whole look. The iconic miniskirt, history and modern reinvention. Few fashion pieces scream 60s louder than the miniskirt. Introduced by Mary Quant, this daringly short skirt challenged norms and empowered women to embrace their youth and freedom. The miniskirt became a symbol of the decade's progressive spirit: fun, flirty, and fearless. Today, the miniskirt is still a wardrobe staple, but its styling has evolved to suit modern sensibilities. Instead of ultra-short hemlines that dominated the 60s, contemporary miniskirts tend to be slightly longer and more versatile, allowing for layering and year-round wear. Pairing a miniskirt with opaque tights or knee-high boots can balance flirtiness with practicality. In 2025, experiment with textures like suede, leather, or corduroy to update the classic mini. Styling it with a tucked-in turtleneck and a tailored blazer makes the look polished for casual work settings or outings. Sneakers or loafers add a youthful, street-style edge. Layering is your best friend with the miniskirt. Try pairing it with an oversized cardigan or a cropped jacket to add dimension and contrast. This balances the short length and makes it feel modern and intentional. Remember, confidence is key. The miniskirt is about owning your look with ease and attitude. When worn thoughtfully, it's a brilliant way to channel 60s spirit without feeling dated. Retro outerwear. Go-go boots and mod coats. Outerwear defined many 60s outfits, with iconic pieces like go-go boots and mod-style coats standing out as fashion staples. Go-go boots, often white and knee-high, were synonymous with youthful rebellion and paired perfectly with mini skirts and dresses. Mod coats featured clean lines, boxy shapes, and bold colors or color blocking, think geometric and futuristic. While authentic go-go boots can be a daring choice today, modern interpretations in neutral colors or ankle boot versions offer a subtle nod to the era without overwhelming your outfit. They pair well with skinny jeans or dresses, adding retro flair balanced with modern comfort. Mod coats remain incredibly wearable. Look for sharply tailored coats with minimalist cuts, bright pops of color, or interesting details like oversized buttons. Modern fabrics offer better weather protection and comfort while maintaining the classic look. When styling, try pairing a mod coat with slim trousers and loafers for a sleek city look. Or combine go-go boots with a simple shift dress and oversized sunglasses for weekend brunch. Mixing these retro pieces with contemporary staples creates a playful yet sophisticated contrast. For a softer touch, trench coats or wool pea coats in vintage-inspired cuts also echo the 60s mod vibe while fitting seamlessly into 2025 wardrobes. Hair and makeup. The 60s influence today. The 60s were revolutionary for beauty. Two iconic hairstyles like the beehive, the pixie cut, and sleek straight hair with heavy bangs defined the decade. Makeup featured dramatic cat eyes, pale lips, and fluttery lashes. These looks conveyed both glamour and youthful rebellion. In 2025, you don't need to replicate the beehive exactly to evoke the 60s. Instead, opt for modern twists like subtle volume at the crown or soft curtain bangs. Sleek, shiny hair and natural textures with a touch of retro flair also work beautifully. For makeup, the cat eye remains timeless. A clean winged liner paired with neutral lips and glowing skin is a perfect way to nod to the era. skip heavy contouring or overly matte finishes to keep the look fresh and wearable. Adding fluttery false lashes or a single pop of pastel eyeshadow can also hint at the 60s without going full vintage. Hair accessories like skinny headbands or barrettes offer playful options to complete the look. The key is balance, embracing the dramatic elements of 60s beauty while keeping everything soft and modern. Whether for daily wear or special occasions, this approach offers a chic way to honor the decade's influence. Accessories that made the 60s. Pop, headbands, oversized sunglasses, and more accessories were crucial to completing the 60s look. Think wide headbands, oversized round or Cartier sunglasses, statement earrings, and bold plastic bangles. These fun, often colorful items added personality and flair to even simple outfits. Today, these accessories are back in a big way, but with a modern twist. Headbands, for example, come in luxe velvet, tortoiseshell, or bejeweled styles, making them perfect for both casual and dressy looks. Oversized sunglasses are practical and chic, with shapes that flatter your face shape rather than strictly sticking to vintage frames. Chunky plastic jewelry has evolved into more delicate resin pieces or mixed media designs that are easier to layer and style. Bold scarves with geometric or psychedelic prints can be worn around the neck, tied on a bag, or as a hair accessory, adding versatile vintage vibes. When incorporating these accessories, less is more. Choose one statement piece per outfit to keep the look balanced. For instance, pair a minimal dress with oversized sunglasses and a simple clutch for effortless cool. Or add a pair of graphic earrings to elevate a basic jeans and tee combo. Modern accessories inspired by the 60s allow you to channel the fun and fearless spirit of the decade without feeling overdone. Mixing vintage finds with modern basics. One of the best ways to wear 60s fashion today is by mixing vintage or vintage-inspired pieces with your modern basics. This blend keeps your look fresh, wearable, and uniquely you. For example, pair a vintage psychedelic blouse with high-waisted straight-leg jeans and simple white sneakers. Or wear a classic Aline skirt from a thrift shop with a crisp, modern white button-down shirt. Mixing eras adds dimension and prevents your outfit from feeling like a costume. Modern basics like fitted turtlenecks, sleek leather jackets, or tailored trousers provide a neutral backdrop that lets your statement vintage piece stand out. They also add structure and polish to softer or more playful 60s items. Layering is key. A vintage shift dress over a plain long-sleeve tee or under a contemporary blazer creates interesting contrast. Footwear choices like minimalist boots or loafers modernize the look without clashing with vintage textures or patterns. Shopping for vintage or retro-inspired pieces online or at local thrift shops can be a treasure hunt that brings authentic character to your wardrobe. Don't be afraid to tailor or alter vintage finds for a better fit or updated look. This mix-and-match approach is the best way to honor the past while living fully in the present. Fabric choices. From polyester to sustainable materials. In the 60s, polyester was all the rage, shiny, synthetic, and easy to care for. While iconic at the time, today many avoid it for comfort and environmental reasons. In 2025, reinterpreting 60s fashion means choosing fabrics that nod to the era but align with modern values. Natural, sustainable fabrics like organic cotton, linen, tencel, and recycled blends are popular and breathable, making them comfortable all day long. These materials also photograph beautifully and wear well over time, unlike some older synthetics that can look cheap or stiff. Look for textured knits, soft jerseys, or lightweight wools that mimic vintage silhouettes but feel luxurious and natural. Modern fabric technology means you can have wrinkle resistance, stretch, and durability without compromising comfort or sustainability. When shopping vintage, be mindful of fabric care. Some older synthetics require delicate handling, while others may have degraded over time. Investing in updated fabric versions of classic shapes and prints is often easier and more practical. This focus on fabric not only updates the 60s style, but also makes your wardrobe more eco-friendly, a true win-win for fashion and the planet. The mod look versus hippie vibes. Two sides of the 60s. The 60s had two standout styles: the sharp, structured mod look and the relaxed, free-spirited hippie vibe. Mod style means bold color blocking, mini skirts, and sleek tailoring. Think Aline dresses, pops of color, and statement boots for a polished edge. The hippie style favors flowing fabrics, floral prints, fringe, and earthy tones, perfect for laid-back days or festivals. Try floral maxi dresses, suede jackets, or embroidered tops with modern denim. You can even mix the two. Pair a mod dress with boho jewelry or a hippie blouse with tailored trousers for a fresh twist. Modern brands embracing the 60s. Revival many brands today reimagine 60s style with a modern twist. Labels like Reformation, Ganni, and Rixo mix vintage-inspired prints and shapes with fresh cuts and sustainable fabrics. High-end houses like Gucci and Prada often nod to the 60s in their collections, while budget-friendly stores like In Other Stories and Zara offer trendy, wearable versions. These pieces blend retro charm with current trends like oversized collars or puff sleeves. Plus, they're made for modern comfort and easy care. Pair them with vintage accessories or thrifted finds for a personalized, timeless look. Styling 60s prints for 2025. Do's and don'ts. 60s prints like psychedelic swirls and bold geometrics can be striking but easily overpower an outfit. Keep it modern by choosing one statement print at a time, for example. Pair a vibrant blouse with solid pants. Use prints in accessories like scarves or bags for a subtle nod to the era. Stick to smaller patterns for a fresher look and balance bold prints with neutral basics. Pay attention to fabrics too. Some prints look best on silk, satin, or soft cotton. Avoid clashing multiple loud prints unless you're confident with pattern mixing. Footwear flashback. Platforms, flats, and beyond. The 60s gave us go-go boots, chunky platforms, and ballet flats styles that mixed rebellion with charm. In 2025, platforms are back with comfy soles and sleek finishes, perfect with jeans, skirts, or dresses. Go-go boots live on as knee-high and mid-calf boots in modern colors and materials. Ballet flats remain a timeless choice, easy to pair with cropped pants or shift dresses. Look for cushioned, well-made updates that keep the vintage vibe but add all-day comfort. Platforms with tailored trousers or flats with flowy dresses make retro footwear feel fresh and wearable. Vintage shopping tips. How to find real 60s pieces. Hunting for authentic 60s pieces can be a thrilling adventure, but requires some savvy. Start by exploring reputable vintage stores, thrift shops, and online marketplaces like Etsy or specialized vintage retailers. Look for labels and details typical of the era, bold prints, polyester or cotton fabrics, and characteristic cuts like Aline skirts and shift dresses. Inspect seams and fabric condition carefully. Some older garments may need repairs or professional cleaning. Beware of pieces labeled retro or inspired by the 60s if you want true vintage. These are often modern reproductions. If authenticity matters, ask sellers for provenance or detailed photos. Alterations are common. Sizing standards have changed, so tailoring may be necessary for the perfect fit. Don't shy away from mixing vintage with modern pieces to keep the look fresh. Vintage shopping requires patience and an eye for detail, but offers unique finds that add depth and personality to your wardrobe. Updating 60s looks for everyday wear too. Make 60s style practical in 2025. Mix vintage pieces with modern basics. Choose shift dresses with modest hemlines and pair them with a denim jacket or blazer. Swap ultra-short minis for slightly longer skirts and balance bold prints with neutral jeans or trousers. Comfortable shoes like loafers, ankle boots, or clean sneakers keep the look fresh. Add structured bags and simple jewelry for polish. For work, keep prints classic and makeup minimal. On weekends, try bolder colors and playful shoes. The key is balancing retro charm with comfort and your own style. Celebrities and influencers. Leading the 60s revival today, several celebrities and fashion influencers have embraced 60s aesthetics, helping popularize the look for a new generation. Think Zendaya's mode-inspired dresses, Harry Styles' playful retro prints, or Dua Lipa's bold, colorful miniskirts. Influencers often mix vintage pieces with contemporary trends, making the style accessible and relevant. Instagram and TikTok creators curate thrifted finds with modern twists, inspiring fans worldwide. Observing these style icons can spark ideas for your wardrobe, whether it's a statement, coat, fun accessories, or hair and makeup inspired by the era. Their confidence and individuality show how versatile and timeless 60s fashion can be. Layering techniques. Combining eras seamlessly. Layering is essential to modernize 60s looks and add depth to outfits. Combine vintage dresses with leather jackets or oversized blazers for a cool juxtaposition. Pair patterned blouses with minimalist cardigans or denim jackets to soften the look. Mix textures like suede, silk, and cotton to keep outfits interesting. Don't be afraid to add contemporary pieces from other decades for a unique, eclectic style. Layering also allows for seasonal versatility. A turtleneck under a sleeveless dress or tights under a mini skirt keeps 60s fashion wearable year-round. Challenges and how to avoid looking like a costume. One of the biggest challenges in wearing 60s styles is avoiding a costume effect. Overdoing prints, pairing too many statement pieces, or heavy makeup can make the look feel dated or theatrical. To stay authentic, balance is crucial. Choose 1 or 2 vintage elements per outfit, and keep the rest neutral and modern. Focus on fit and fabric quality to ensure pieces look fresh. Modernize makeup and hair with subtle nods to the decade, rather than full replication. Confidence and comfort will make any look truly stylish. Conclusion. Embracing vintage spirit with modern confidence. The 60s taught us that fashion is more than clothes. It's attitude, freedom, and self-expression. Recreating 60s looks in 2025 isn't about copying the past, but channeling its spirit with modern confidence. Whether you choose bold prints, iconic silhouettes, or playful accessories, the key is to make the style your own. Mix vintage with modern basics. Focus on fit and comfort. And don't be afraid to experiment. With these tips, you can honor the revolutionary style of the 60s while shining brightly in today's world, bold, beautiful, and unapologetically you.